Hi, color therapist Susan McKenzie here. Well, here we are. We've arrived at the full moon in September. But before I go any further, I just want to speak a little bit about the absence of my videos, the last 3 videos. So I had a number of technical difficulties. Blame that on whatever you want to blame it on. It's just the way things are, and that's forced me to go onto a different platform. And so here I am, and hopefully all is going to go well with this video. And if not, you'll know, and you could let me know, I guess, right? So that happened for 3 videos. I really was trying, and in the meantime, I was trying to get a lot of work done because, and I'm probably going to talk about this often, but I was in South Africa for 2 weeks in September, and I actually had gone to South Africa to do an advanced teacher training course, which I completed, and it was an advanced teacher training course in color mirrors. So yeah, I feel very blessed to have had that experience. And so here I am, and hopefully all going well, everything will be okay, and I can move forward on doing the videos this way. I also just decided that I would sit on the opposite side of my office. This is the other side of my office, and you can let me know if you like this background or the other one, or should I switch it up? Let me know in the comments. That'd be great. So here we are, and we are at the full moon in September, also known as the harvest moon in the Northern Hemisphere. I'm not really sure. I think it's the warm moon in the Southern Hemisphere as they're going into their spring. And, this moon is really about endings. And I like to say completion of beginnings. And it's kind of ironic because often this harvest moon tends to look a little bit more orangey red than it normally does. And the bottle in the color mirror system that is that orangey red is bottle number 9. And we are in the 9th month. And people who are into numerology will know that that is the completion of beginnings. So it's about things coming to an end. And again, with harvest, it's the exact same thing. We're coming to an end of the growing season, and we're now harvesting, right? But this particular full moon is about this awareness of balance within our relationships, and that is the relationship with ourselves, individually, and with other people. It's really asking us to have a look at those relationships and see how balanced they are, and if they are within the boundaries of what we really want in our lives, right? And it is also about the relationship we have with ourselves, and really going into the space of individuality and authenticity, right? It's about us being in that space while also having these really wonderful relationships and allowing the balance to flow between them, right? Ask yourself some questions. Am I giving away too much of myself in this particular relationship? And you're always free to pull back or to even end the relationship if that's the case, right? Not all relationships are here for a lifetime, right? They say a season, a reason, a lifetime. And so that's the way it is, right? And to be able to release and let go, because when we release and let go, other things flow into our lives, right? And this also has been a theme since about July, about relationships and getting in alignment with ourselves. And it's going to go for the next 18 months. So just keep that in mind. So I'm wondering if you had an opportunity to pull one of these bottles. So I always have these weird stories about the bottles. So this is interesting. If you look back, you don't have to, I can tell you, if you were to scroll back and look at the new moon bottles that were picked that didn't have a video that went with them. And please do know that even if you picked a bottle, know that those bottles were supporting you over that moon cycle that you were in at that time, right? But if you go back and look at the September new moon bottles, you'll see that the bottles were exactly the same as these ones. And I thought that was interesting because, as I said, I always do these at the beginning of the year. So somewhere along the line, I kind of messed up. And I ended up putting the same bottles on the new moon and the full moon. However, I didn't do a reading on the new moon because I couldn't upload the video. And so I'm doing the reading now. So I would say everything is always perfect. So maybe you just needed to sit with the energy of these bottles. And now that we're supposed to have them for the whole entire 29 days of the moon cycle. So here we are, and it is a really lovely, powerful moon. I find it, I just find it blissfully powerful. So some of the other bottles that have those reddy, orangey, goldy kind of colors are the harvest bottle, ironically, and whereas we're in the harvest moon, and Buddhic bliss as well. And so they're, that's just, that to me represents fall in Canada where I live. So there we go. So here are the bottles. I'm interested to see which bottle you picked. And if your bottle resonated, by all means, please let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear what you have to say in that. So the first bottle we're going to look at is this beautiful bottle right here. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? Right. So this bottle is number 33 and it's called Love and Magic. I mean, do I need to even go any further with that? It is a pale pink over top of a rose pink. And I'll let you have a nice closer look at that. Isn't that lovely? So, you know, pink is the color of self-love. Right. And, you know, it is really helps us connect into that nurturing side of ourselves where we can really go in and, you know, acknowledge the self. Right. And I think that's really important. And it's interesting that we're in this full moon. And what I actually mentioned earlier about that full moon is, you know, it's about relationships and in particular, the relationship with the self. Right. And, you know, pink really opens us up to embracing life circumstances, the things that are in our life that we may deem as not worthy of the love that we can give on to other things, right? You know, it just really empowers us to open to love. And it really is important that we look at the things that have come into our life and know that they are there lovingly to teach us something, or they're lovingly there for whatever reason, but to help us move along our path, right? And, you know, it really helps us also to weed out the relationships that don't serve us, and also to embrace everything that we have in this world with love, right? And you know, when we do that, the love, you know, the world actually looks more beautiful, I would say, right? You know, when we go into the space of self-love, it actually really helps us to look at the relationships that we have in our lives, because we start going into a place of self-worth where we start valuing ourselves on a much deeper level. And then we want to align with those people that we bring into our lives, because they also, you know, will mirror back to us, right? Our relationships mirror back to us that which we need to learn, right? So if you have, and they're also mirror back to you if you are in a space of love, they're going to mirror that also back to you, that you are in that space of love, right? So, you know, really embrace all of that, right? You know, ask yourself this question: what would having it all look like, right? Really ask yourself that question. Sit and ponder, meditate, you know, write it down in a journal, take a piece of paper or scrap paper, whatever it is, you know, and then ask yourself this question: what would happen if you had it all? If you had everything that you had written down on that sheet, what would happen if you had that all, right? It's really, this bottle is about asking you to fall in love with the magic of life. I believe that love, you know, that life really is magical. I really do believe that. And I believe it, you know, even through the things that don't appear so magical, right? As a human, that is, you know, we struggle with some things like grief, for example, right? And just really fall in love with you all over again, right? Like, just do it. Just find something extra to love about yourself, right? 33 is this bottle 33, and again, for those who are into numerology, 33 is a master number, right, where it shows like a superior presence, you know, over everything. And so this is saying that this is a really important time for you to actually really go into that space and go into you know, reevaluate the things that you tell yourself. I always tell people we're so mean to ourselves, right? And, you know, really go into that space and you know, love it all. Like, go into everything and love it all. Loving all of you, right? And, you know, and love money too. And I know that sounds really crazy, but money is an energy. And, you know, we're often taught that money, you know, money is the root of all evil. And we actually go around thinking that money is evil. And, you know, everything will mirror back to us what we believe. So if you believe that money is evil, then money is going to be evil. But if you believe that money is love, because money is really love, it's just an energy, right? It will come to you in the quantities that you ask for. I mean, I know that all sounds really hokey, but the reality is you have to shift your energy around your thoughts about money, right? And despite the contrast, right? So it's like, you know, I don't have it, so I constantly think I don't have it, so I don't have it, right? And so we have to kind of think about money in a different way, and then, you know, move towards doing the work. And the work in this case is really about going into a space of loving ourselves, so we can open up to go into a space of receiving, right? And, you know, I just, you know, I really can't say enough about that whole aspect. Everything needs to be loved right in this world, right? And so I would say over this full moon, it really is about going into that space. And if you're feeling like you're already in that space, good for you. This bottle's mirroring back to you and letting you know, well done. That's exactly where you are. So the second bottle we're going to look at is this lovely right here. This bottle is number G16 and it is called Serenity. And you kind of look at it and you go, yeah, of course it is. It's just so calm, right? You know, this bottle is about balance. And you can kind of see that in that, right? You know, it's about balancing, about the balance of the divine feminine and the enlightened masculine. And I just love that. And it's just so yummy, right? And we have this perfect alignment. That's what this is really about. And it's about, you know, the human and the angelic self as well in that balance, right? The acceptance of all aspects of the self as divine. And therefore, absolutely perfect, right? Because if the divine is perfect, then we all are as well. We're part of that divine, right? So are you feeling that? And, you know, for those of you who are feeling anything but, this is a perfect bottle for you to have picked, right? Because this bottle will support you through that chaos and the thoughts of what you have that don't align with that, right? It's calm and it really helps to stabilize us, and it allows us to go into a place to pause and reconnect with the self, right? In that space of serenity, we really truly will find peace. You know, take a few deep breaths, keep picturing this color, or just keep looking at this color of this bottle, right? You could go onto my website and, you know, take a screenshot of the actual bottle itself and sit and look at it on your phone while you kind of breathe deeply, take some deep breaths, right? I tell people it only takes 30 seconds to take 2 complete inhales and exhales, right? And, you know, just really go so that you can actually feel that you're in that space of serenity. And if you are in that space of serenity and this bottle is saying to you, good job, you're in serenity and that's where you need to be, right? Well done.